Okay, so I'm trying something different, actually. The light's really bad, but anyway. Can you see better like this? It's
In some
4:23 on
ways,
Tuesday,
doing
August
this experiment
16th.
is
I have
is
been
directly
up since
a process
10
of
o'clock.
talking to
Well,
myself.
actually 7:30, but
I am
something's going on, so
videotaping
people came in
recordings,
filming. I don't know.
and as a character
I thought I'd try something different.
called
Since I talked about the
Misunderstood, I
background
am
yesterday,
responding
today I
and
try background.
analyzing,
That
criticizing,
gave
commenting
you
on
a
what I'm
sense of where I
saying.
was. And right now I'm
Yet,
sitting on my balcony.
it isn't really
And the camera is faced out, so you're seeing
talking to myself.
that corner of the building.
As soon as I put myself in front of this camera, it changes the way I speak. It changes the kinds of thoughts and dialogues that I may have with myself. I'm more concerned with my words, and to some degree, the background which I present myself.
This process is going on a lot. It's strange, as I said, it's all.
I also am aware of the fact that though this video recording and the words can be seen by millions of people. So in one way I'm talking to myself. In another way, I'm talking to all kinds of people by talking to myself in their presence. It's like sharing a conversation where everyone is invited to speak in one way or another. I mean, sometimes when you're in an elevator, for instance, you comment on something like how crowded it is, why the elevator went, opened the doors at that floor and no one got out. Hey, look at that.
How much?
And someone may respond and someone may not, but it is an open dialogue. All of those people within that setting are invited to participate. Whether or not they do is another question. So, is this also considered talking to yourself? If you know someone else can listen and could possibly contribute, participate, it's no longer passive, it's an active act.
Even in the thought that someone felt that
I am actually, in 3 days, I've gone through different ways of approaching this. This is one, just to spit out whatever comes to my mind.
I direct my thoughts towards the people.
Spit out whatever emotion happened to be rising up. To play with the character and have fun with it. And today, after much research on the internet, and
I know I fight my whole life. This has been a day of
ways of connecting,
some emotional arts, some
new
thoughts,
art,
some
investigation. I guess I'm getting more analytical about this actual process.
Myself and about how the media works.
It's simple, yet there's something in it, and I'm not sure what it is, but there is something going on. And I think this is worthwhile, so I'm going to continue.
It doesn't work with me.
This is art in life as one in a Facebook wall post video.
Okay, I'm going to respond to myself because I think I get so emotionally wrapped up in what I'm trying to say that sometimes I think that's what actually happens, that people feel the frustration and the anger, and you can see it in my pose, and even though my voice is calm, I think it's
I want to say this
clear
about
that it's there.
dialogue.
Maybe it is only to me, but
I think that I've been listening to this dialogue of this
what if
person
the
and I
problem
over
of
coffee
people,
that went
what if I could
really
rewrite
horribly
history
wrong.
emotionally listening to myself talk. So much information. I'm really
All right, so I am aware that I've been thinking about this more.
I thought this was a nice setting for talking about where I feel, how I feel.
React to that.
Right away, there's like I realize like learning these cycles and I'm trying to figure out what they are and the choice or but I tried to see what happened. I talked. Well, I heard myself talking. Well, I heard myself. I feel insensitive. Try to it's the second day. It's art. Yes, I could feel bad. It's great. It's not about products. Really wrapped up in products. Maybe we don't know right now what's going on. Something happens, whether it was or not. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to sit in a good feeling for too long. Definitely something I guess I think there's something I'm used to aware, having so much for the future, aware of it, kind of a circular ball. Try to enjoy living with it without feeling bad about it. She goes on. No emergencies. Seriously, I can do this. They're coming through the work. Trust the process, as they say.
How is this art? I'd like to know. I'd really like to know. Where is this going? What are you going to do?
How is it not art?
How is this going to make any difference?
Why don't you try answering that one? How is what we're doing not art? How is anything in life not art?
I mean, I haven't said them in my words, and I haven't thought them.
Tonight, and
Often I get people responding back with something that they think they heard, or they think they felt, or they did feel, but it wasn't related to the words, but they think it was. I don't know. I mean, that is the difference between what we say and what we feel, and what we're bringing to the table, I guess. I don't think I have an answer to this one. I was lying in bed trying to go to bed. It's late. And I was just mulling over all these thoughts and discussions and
I think there are several
that I've been
factors
doing
that are
on,
involved with good dialogue.
this process, this misunderstood process.
You have to believe that you
Dialogue
have something we're
and
saying.
going over
It's a social
discussion
media
and dialogue,
week here.
particularly.
Social media week. They have a week
And
to
its
believe
relationship
that the person
to this
you're telling it
process.
to
Understanding.
wants to hear what you have to say.
Okay, it's
And I realized
bright.
it's
and
ridiculous.
Wants to hear it, but you think
Thought I'd
that
try
you
Talk
something
about
different today.
dialogue in a traditional sense. When you're dealing with this form of media.
And
Dialogue in a traditional sense has a different kind of it's different rules. It's like comparing apples to
this is
oranges.
what it looks like.
When I post something,
And all that's great.
I don't get a response. Not immediate. If I get a response,
To be fair, I find that
that doesn't mean someone isn't listening. If I don't, I hate doing this. I hate especially having to sit at numbers and numbers of people watch this. I grab ways of dialogue. They're different, completely different. You cannot same way. Social media works in a virtual world. There are different space. I'm not responding to things that might have been posted like what's happening with Occupy Wall Street over geographical locations all over the world. It's a different thing. You can't compare speaking in traditional terms, dialogue, to speaking through social media. There's something in this, something to discover. As soon as you put any kind of device,
Extension of
as soon as you separate your senses, you're creating a different kind of communication. The camera affects the way that I communicate. It affects the way that I might be more on because I am on.
me
You know,
has helped.
there's more to it. I'm thinking.
Hey, out of the hospital. Trying to get back onto this, talking about dialogue. You know, but I guess because all of the discussions I've had so far kind of interconnect. So dialogue has been interconnecting with identity, which is, and this is all kind of a question about what art has, whether this is art and what art is for me, and those kinds of things have been coming out of this. Sense of space was interesting. You know, the social media kind of involves all kinds of different areas that interconnect. And I just wanted to share this because looking like this, you know, you get a big reaction, right? You get looked at, people stare at you. Some people kind of look shocked a little bit when they first see you and kind of like realize that they're looking like that and then look away. Or, you know, kids stare because they're curious and they're like, you know, I'm sure half of them are kind of going like, whoa, cool, you know. But there's definitely, you know, like there's a split, a divide in neighborhoods and the kind of reactions I get, and the kinds of people that show sympathy or the kinds of people that are, you know, embarrassed or shy away in some way. You know, in this neighborhood, which is not the richest neighborhood in the world, it's quite mixed.
To continue what I was saying last night,
The people that are the most sympathetic. I was trying to think about there may or may not be ways that they're always smiling and social. You know, being really nice to me. The variety store people that are usually from other parts of the world are usually pretty nice too.
I think it's best that I don't know how to even term.
And then there's all the people that ideality
And I guess it's kind of like when you're together.
Sorry for you.
In social media, there are different rules.
After doing
two very seasons together, creating, and so then it's kind of a condensed film. What are those that I'm layering together? Social media,
especially as a woman.
and going through all the different things that I have, and my experiences, going through this revelation of that space, dialogue.
I think actually there are different ways to understand that. Something is being revealed, right? That you're that's understood its basis, that its project is both using social media as art and throughout its process it also is a really great example of the effects.
So I realized that I was
able to see how someone else
in my learning meeting. What if I in between
there's so much to it.
That's it.
There's so much involved in what's being said.
Day before I comes from all of that. And I was broken again to fix it. Because it's broken in communication. I say, this is art, folks.
I know them to feel bad.
This is art. It's got the Kate Hollett stamp of approval. Probably won't be doing this for a few days.
Then I noticed today I went to Smita, which is really, I went to one of the major department stores.
It's small, and when I get caught up in dialogue in workplaces, because I am on the other day when I
And I was sitting there having something to eat. It was kind of like this treat at people get something really yummy to eat.
I think that social media.
And I realized sitting there that I didn't get the same reaction. So of course it didn't feel the same kind of thing.
just that.
And I realized it's because most people in that neighborhood would assume that looking like this, I probably just had a nose job.
Of
Big
mirroring
difference.
yourself and learning to talk to yourself.
But it
I'm
also
losing the
in a small way, and I wouldn't profess to understand what anyone else would feel in any other situation. But in a small way, I realized how much you had to be within yourself, not to, in order to have those reactions and emotions that are coming and passing by you, just bounce off and not care about it. I guess we want to be liked, and I make a point of interacting with people in a positive way. So to take this kind of backseat or almost shamed position, or overly proud to make up for it, it made me question what it would be like to have this on an ongoing basis for another reason. Let's say because of the color of my skin, or my height, or my weight, or my religion, or my dress code. Let's say I was wearing a turban. I don't know, what would that be like on an ongoing basis? I mean, how would that affect you? You'd have to be pretty damn strong inside of yourself not to let it get to you. And now I go on. Anyway, that's a big, long dialogue about all of this, because of course it's affecting me, and I'm thinking about how it affects me and what I can learn from it.
I can understand complex ideas, but I have trouble communicating those ideas to someone else. That's what art's for. That's what I use art for. That's what I use visual art for. I can see them in my head. I can understand them in pictures and imagery and sensory experiences. But putting them into language that is understandable by many, is very difficult. I mean, how can we even do this? We each have a different way of understanding something. I think actually where we meet in dialogue, in that place, there are no words.